Hey, welcome back to Series 3 of Through the Decades, the podcast. This series, I'm in Polliesfield in Braintree, Essex, which is an Abbey Fields independent and assisted living development. And today on the podcast, I am joined by the very lively Jim, who is 82 years young. So Jim, can you get this episode rolling by telling us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and a bit about your life?
Well, I'm James Fincham. I'm a man. I went to school when I was 4, but the Germans kept trying to bomb me every day. I was born during the war, and I did see a lot of bomb sites and things like that, but they missed, which is lucky for me. And once all that and the war had ended, it was an hard. That was when it was hard, because there was no men. I mean, I didn't see my dad till I was 5. I wondered who he was. I thought, who's this geezer in a brown uniform giving me sweets? My mum's told me not to take me. But it was my dad, he come out, but he was knackered then. He couldn't couldn't work at all, really. But he did. He used to struggle through the, all in your hand. Well, he's a rag and bone man. And he suited him, and he made a few bob out of it. But he died when I was very young. I mean, I think it was in my second year at my senior school. So I was about 12.
Wow.
And he died. I hadn't known him long, really. But he encouraged the things that I might have been good at. He loved football, and he loved West Ham. And I love football, and I love West Ham, much about as far as it goes with me. But, It was hard. I mean, for the women, it was hard and all. My poor old mum, she had more jobs than the job centre. She did, honestly.
Yeah. So, what do you remember about the place you grew up? How was life growing up for you?
Oh, wonderful. You all went to school. And we, nobody had more than anybody else. If they did have more than you, you knew they was on the fiddle. You had to be. Yeah, and London, at least, especially the East End of London, will always find a way through it. We'll can always earn a few bob on the side. And that's really what I miss about when I left London, to live in Harlow. I missed the devilment of it, nicking a few things here and there. That's what you did.
Yeah.
And but it done me well. But that was the best move I ever done, was getting out of London. When I was 30 then. I was married and I had a young daughter. Then I had a son, and I thought, this ain't no good. I got to get out of London, and I'm glad I did, because knowing how it's turned out now, London, I don't think my 2 sons would have survived. I think they'd have been stabbed. Both Herberts, like youngsters, not Herberts, but they wouldn't say no to a scrap. But my daughter was very clever, but none of them passed the 11 plus because it weren't out then. No, it's a nice girl. My daughter's lovely. My 2 sons are lovely, but in different ways. Yeah. She comes here and she lives at Stansted, Burton End, right by the airport. Yeah, and she's done very well. She's left school. No O levels or A levels. She just wanted to get out of work, I think. But then she went to Pitney Bowes, which is a big firm in Harlow, and she's made her way up to being a director now of it. But very good she done, and it's an American firm, and she's done really well.
Wow.
She made her daddy proud.
So tell us about your school life. Did you like school? Did you not like school?
Oh, I love school.
How was school for you?
Yeah, well, my first real memory of school was when I was about 3. Because there were, a lot of children got evacuated, so they decided to keep us 3-year-olds. I missed that by about 3 days. I could have had a jolly holiday somewhere else. But no, I say then, I went to school, because there weren't that many pupils, but you sat lay on a bed about lunchtime. For an hour they made you go a kip. But then you used to have school meals. Oh, school meals were diabolical. But you had to eat it all. You had a teacher standing by the bin where you throw them in.
Yeah.
And if you go back and eat it. You know,
Wow.
so I used to take a paper bag and put it in my pocket. But what you should do, and you know, this is where I think today's generation are lost a little bit on us. Like, we lived on our wits a lot of the time, and so what you done was at school when these meals, lousy meals, you found out that one of the women serving it, about 3-4 women serving it up, you found out who their son was, and you got in with him. He's your best mate. And so then she'd give you all the nice stuff, same as him. You got away with things like that.
Yeah.
Nothing serious, no one's hurt.
Yeah. So moving away from school, kind of started to grow up, what was your working life like? What was your first job? How did
Well,
that...
getting up in the morning, that was my first job. No, when I wanted to be what they call a lighterman. Well, a lighterman is, you know, when the boats come in London docks, and a trawler comes round and, you know, unloads it and puts it on these barges, and then we used to take it round to where it got delivered on the sea, you know. But it was a family thing amongst the family. Well, I had a family that, you know, could do it, but my cousin left school a bit before me and he nicked the ticket. Like, you know, so we've only got one ticket, so he got the job, and then I said, well, I had to have a job. Like, I was due to leave school, so I said, well, you know, went up the job centre in well, it was a general one. I had to go up WC2 to have an assessment. And what do you want to do? And the geezer said, why don't you do that? I said, what's that? You're plastering. I said, all right, I'll do that. I didn't know what I was letting myself in for. I only couldn't get rid of it. But, you know, you struggle through it. I knock it a lot, but, you know, it was hard. But, you know, I earned a good living out of it. You know, you could, you know, I could always get a good living.
Is that what you went on to do for your working life, for the rest of your working life?
You know, the bloke up the employment centre and my mum, like, she said, like, take this job. And, like, the docs had promised me, being as we was affiliated, you know, they said, well, when a job becomes a vacant or a position, we'll give you a ring and you've got it. So, oh, lovely. Like, but after 3 years, I hadn't heard nothing. Then all of a sudden I heard that, you know, there's a job going down, but I thought, just done 3 years, I mean, 5-year apprentice thing. And I thought, God, I can't do that now. I ain't going to leave it now, am I? So I had to turn it down. You know, but it was fun. You know, it was fun. You know, left mods and rockers.
So
I was a mod.
you did go on for the rest of your working life to work in the plaster industry.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
When you look back at your life, what would you say has been the biggest lesson that you've learned within your life from everything that you've experienced?
Oh, blimey. Always be happy. You know, I mean, I'm happy as a sandboy, I am. You know, how long I got left now? I'm 82. How long have I mean, if I do the 100, I might be absolutely over the moon. But, you know, life's always how you treat it. I mean, I could never take anything serious in my life. You know, it's the only time I'll ever get uptight is when West Ham lose, especially if they lose to bloody Tottenham. You can't beat this place.
Yeah.
I looked at a lot of places. You know, I lived in Riddle, which is Chelmsford, and you know, they were nice places to stay, and that, you know, and people were nice. I presume, like, I didn't really get to know them, but like, you know, this here, like, you know, you walk in there, you go, God damn, this is nice.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. If you look back at your life, and you were able to go back to any age or any year in your life, what year or age would you go back to and why?
Well, I'll go back. I'd like to see more of my dad. I've always dreamed of, you know, once he died, like, I've always dreamed I'd like my sons to come and have a pint with me. You know, go and have a little beer. But that's what I miss. You know, I never knew my dad. All I ever knew my dad, but he was on the lark. Like, you know, well, he was a thief, for want of a better word, and he used to implicate me in it. I used to have to go round. He got a job with a big tool shop, masses of tools, and he used to say to me coming home from school, he says, right, you get round that back of that, as soon as you get home from school, and with your barrow. And I went down there, I mean, I didn't know what I was doing, and I had bang. And he had more tools in the tool shop. So, but, you know, I don't know, I can't think I'd ever miss anything.
Yeah.
You know, it's life's life, how you take it, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love football. I love most sports. I like cricket. I don't like horse racing. Well, I don't mind horse racing, but I don't mind that jump to jump and all that.
Tell us about your passion for football. How did that start? How did you?
Well, your dad tells it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You know, your dad is. If I said to my dad, "Dad, got a shilling, or which is 5p," I said, "I want to go on pictures." He, "No, I don't want to pay for you to go on pictures like bunking, like the rest of us used to have to." And but if I'd have said, you know, I want to go on football, watch football, or like else, he'd give me it.
Yeah.
You know, and he used to take me. I mean, you know, I was his own. I had two sisters and me. You know, and yeah, nice. I spoke to one yesterday. You know, my oldest sister, my youngest one died unfortunately. Yeah, so she worked at Coots Bank, I think. And both of them did Coots Bank. You know, and they was dyslexic.
Wow.
Whereas I'm a Catholic, see, they're different religion, isn't it? You'll never get any sense out of me that way. You've always got to have a laugh, haven't you?
Yeah.
I can't take life serious at all.
Yeah.
I like it here,
Yeah.
you know. Mind you, a lot of the women, you be careful, these ones, they've all got dodgy eyes, these women. They have, all got dodgy eyes. Every time I look at one of them, they go,
When they start winking at you.
No, they don't really. Don't tell them any. How many more you got to do this for?
Quite a few.
Oh, we're here for a week.
When you were younger, what was your big dream? What did you want to achieve when you grew up?
Oh, have a nice family, a nice house, and I would love to have played for West Ham.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the money is astronomical, isn't it?
For thousands, if not millions.
No, I mean, if anyone tells me, says, football, I thought you'd like to be one, wouldn't they? They'd all like, but blimey, it's good. I mean, I went and played against Bobby Moore at school. He went to a grammar school, though.
Yeah.
It was only secondary modern. We beat him in a cup final. I'll give you one guess, and one guess only. Who scored the winning goal?
If I had to choose, I'd choose you.
You got it, win one. I'm famous.
So why would you say you never got to become a footballer, you know, or professionally play football? Why? What stopped you?
Weren't good enough. I played for the district side. That's Bobby Moore was in that, and there was a couple of other fellas that were better than Moore at the school, and you know they're the ones that got snapped up by the scouts and all that, you know, and but when that Bobby Moore made it, he's the best footballer I've ever seen, Bobby Moore. But when he kind of went from school and he's on West Ham's books, and I thought, bleep, what are they seeing him like that? But you soon found out, very good player, you know. And a few of my mates made it and all, you know, to amateur. On them days you could play for an amateur side and you got a few bob in your hands, you know, because you weren't allowed to pay amateur players.
When you look back at your life and everything that you've done, what are you most proud of?
I mean, raising 3 kids, isn't it? Yeah, it is, you know.
Yeah.
I love my children. I hope they love their dad.
How was life like as a father raising 3 kids for you?
Oh, easy. You know, it was it. Once I got that house out of London, I got me out of London, you know, and then it was nice then because, like, you know, my kids could play on a field.
Yeah.
You know, I lived in Mile End, Bow. You know, my dad used to ring the Bow bells.
Wow.
But till all his mates started calling him Quazzy. He got the hump and packed it in. No, he's that, you know, my kids, isn't it? Yeah, always. And I've got 2 granddaughters now.
Wow.
No grandson though. But my youngest granddaughter, she plays football.
Wow.
I can't get her. She plays for. She's only, I think she's 14, 15 or 16, something like that. That's her birthday soon. As happens, I got it on my book there and she loves it. Like she really, if dedication, she'd make it. Like but I'm not saying I haven't seen her play yet, but she loves it, which is good. All sport keeps you happy and healthy. Do you do a sport?
Yes, badminton.
Cool, that's a fierce old shame. No. What's the other one where you're in a court?
Tennis.
No. The well, you hit the ball against that wall all the time. It goes 300 miles an hour. Squash.
Oh yeah, squash.
Oh, you ever played that?
No.
I played a geezer that was good at it, and I nearly chinned him on the back. He had me running about it like he'd never clue. I was flying about. And I thought, he's doing it on purpose. Like you can kill that shot, but no. But he had to get me running. In the end, I had to give it up. I said, no, you've done too good for me.
When you look back at your life as well, obviously you said that you're most proud of the fact that you brought up 3 kids. But when you look back at your life, what would you class as the best day of your life? Well,
there's various ones, isn't there? But when England won the World Cup, that was a lovely day. But I mean, I wouldn't. All the nice days parts I've had would be around my children and my wife.
Yeah.
I've always tried to be happy. If you've got a smile on your bum, you can't, so it's lovely.
Yeah.
And this is nice. This brings it out in you. This complex.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked at a few in Chelmsford, but you come here like and it blows the others away.
Yeah. Well, on that topic, let's move to the present day because you're living here at Boddiesfield. How long have you been here?
December the 2nd will be a year.
So you came here December 2nd, 2022.
Yes, yeah. Was you here then?
No.
I thought you knew.
No. What made you move to this development? I mean, you mentioned that they, just really outshine any other developments, but what about it outshines them? What do you love about this development? Why did you move?
The space. You go to these other things like nice. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking it, but there's a little room here like a television. That's about it. But here, it's a big space, and the entertainment they get is good. We got a pop star living in here.
Go on. Who?
Well, he played. I don't know. Your mum and dad might know. What's that? Honeycombs.
Honeycombs.
Have I the right to hold you? He's in that band group.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So downstairs there's obviously the social scene with entertainment quizzes and a whole array of stuff going on, as well as your independence, shall we say, in your apartment.
Yeah.
What about this, other than the space and the social scene, do you love? Why would you choose this over any other development anywhere else?
Well, they're the reasons I would. I mean, you got to go something to beat here.
Yeah. How do you find this type of living? Because in this development there's the assisted living kind of section as well as the independent living that's here. How do you find this type of living as a whole within the development?
Oh yeah, it's a lovely place.
Yeah.
It's I'd be sad to leave it.
Wow. That's lovely.
I keep paying that rent though. They got a few bob this month, have you?
With this in mind, if you had to recommend Boddiesfield to someone else, would you?
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to see. You can't go wrong, can you?
Yeah, that's really nice to hear. So, the way that I wrap up each episode with every single guest that I have, I always ask, what one piece of advice would you give, or any advice, not just one, maybe you have more pieces of advice, but what advice would you give to the younger generations listening to this podcast at home or at school? What would you give them as advice?
Always be prepared.
And there we have it, the end of another episode. Thank you, Jim, for joining me today and telling some of your tales. I am back same time next week with possibly the most exciting episode of Through the Decades ever, where I'll be joined by Brian, who is talking to me all about his life working for Nelson Mandela. It's an exciting one. Don't miss that this time next week. And other than that, all that's left for me to say is make sure to save and share the podcast on Spotify, Amazon Music and YouTube, and turn on the notifications to never miss an episode and be notified of next week's episode with Brian. You don't want to miss it. Other than that, I shall see you this time next week.